I once heard someone say that bards are the reason why there's so many like half races.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Half orc, definitely a bard. Half elf,
The
definitely a
funniest,
bard. Half goblin, definitely a bard.
the funniest thing I'd ever seen is there was a bard in this particular party, and of course they go up against the dragon. But this whole time they've been seeing all these dragonborn, or not yeah, they're dragonborn in D&D, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And then all these other half dragon type races. He's like, I rolled to seduce the dragon. He's like, have you seen how many half dragons there are around here? The dragon rolls to seduce you.
And funny.
That makes good sense.
Okay. Oh, I need a piece of paper.
Oh my goodness, yeah, I totally did it.
Okay, so Guy is not participating tonight. Eli's not participating. He decided to take a break. I don't know how many of you heard that earlier. Figured I'd bring it up again. He's deciding whether or not he wants to continue. It's not quite what he was looking for, which is totally fine. Is now a good time, Dajo? Or should I wait a little bit longer?
I'm getting gas, but I'm doing all right. Like,
Oh, let's wait a second. I'll just get my stuff together.
yeah, I'll be like 5 minutes.
That sounds good. All right. Just buyer beware. There are custom NPCs tonight, so these are not going to be your average Joe snakes. Just so you know.
Oh man,
Yeah.
it's so nice to tell people that. I usually like to let people figure out on their own that their metagaming has put them into a bad position.
So I hear that there's custom NPCs tonight.
Yes.
Woo!
I'm very much a
I
fan
like
of custom.
I always like custom.
I am also very much a fan of giving a not subtle but a slight heads up to people so that they at least don't feel like the world's against them. The reason I give that disclaimer is if I did a poor job on one of them, I'm gonna have to alter it because I don't want to kill you guys. But it's also your responsibility to not die, so take that with a grain of salt.
I
Pedal
see.
is still of the opinion that this is a lot of bad guys, and is still considering that running might be the best option here.
Yeah, I don't want to be unfair to you guys, but what do you think if I have you roll a wisdom saving throw to see if you actually understand what's going on right off the bat? I think
Very
that's
fair.
fair. Because you're probably a little bit like woozy, like, oh, I'm not sure what's going on. I think that would be a good start. That way it's not like, we just all bolt and then the encounter's over in 30 seconds. Like, not really fun for anyone that way.
You said wisdom saving throw, right?
I think so, yeah. Should I do a quick recap?
Please do.
Okay, so started off the session with the party about 2 days travel into the jungle, and it was at that point that Gary suggested, right, Gary? Yes, Gary suggested, let's make a raft. So you spent a few hours of your next day making a raft, and you ended up getting some leather from a pteranodon that you had shot down, and decided to give that some time to dry so you can make it into a sail. You ventured into a cave, found by accident a hungry cave bear, killed it, found a couple loose things in there. You re-embarked on your journey for the rest of the day, and as you as it started getting dark, you started hearing sounds of something strange that was not fitting inside of the jungle. It was shouts of happiness, cheers, joyous music. carnival music. You approached, Elvira and Petal approached and went inside. Gary and Guy stayed outside because they were a little bit hesitant of what was going on. You made merry at the carnival, only to find out as it went on that there were these strange little things that did not fit. Things like somebody's arms just falling off. And I have to admit, after listening to the recording, I wish I had given a couple more details and other things, like the ones I came up on the fly were not the greatest, but I had lost my notes, so I couldn't find them. You engaged in a fight, and as part of the fight, you kind of snapped out of it because your conscious brains realized that just things were not quite as they should be. It's like when you're in a dream and you look at a mirror and you see yourself and you're like, that's not what I look like, and then you suddenly wake up. You went through this very uncomfortable transition from the dream into reality, waking up in the middle of what appears to be an in-construction temple. Now, I'm going to roll for Gary. Did the other two of you roll your wisdom saving throw?
Yeah, I got
I'm
a
gonna
12.
go inside and grab some stuff real quick. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. What'd you get, Elvira?
12.
12.
Petal got a 14.
And 15 for
14.
Gary. 14, okay. And then Guy got an 8. Okay, so 3 of you pass. Guy is still in a trance. He does not know that he has... actually, I shouldn't say that he doesn't know that he hasn't awakened. He's actually in the middle of his own dream state. And so here's where I'm going to give you a little meta information just so that you kind of understand what you're handling here. You all had different dreams. We just played one dream. So I don't care whose dream it was, but one of you dreamed up the carnival, and it was probably Petal because he's been part of a carnival before. And so your knowledge of what a carnival is like ended up snapping you out of it because you're like, this is not how it should be. And that ended up being to everyone's benefit. Let me get some sounds here. Something not as cheery. I don't want you guys to be happy. I want you to be in the middle of a jungle. So Guy is still in the middle of his own dream. He has no idea that you guys have woken up. 3 of you are standing there with tools and blocks of stone in your hands. Probably not blocks of stone; those are pretty heavy. At least tooling. And there's I didn't draw it, but I'll draw it now. There is a cart that is being loaded up. Where's the color brown? There's the color brown. There's a big cart here that's being loaded up by you. In fact, Gary is using his tools to go ahead and walk over there with another few blocks of stone. He's lifting them up very carefully into the back of the cart. He is moving still in a trance. You go ahead, actually, before I tell you that he's in a trance, roll a perception check real fast. Whoever wants to.
I got you. 9.
Okay. You believe that Gary is just playing along. That he's just continuing on putting the stone in there so that he doesn't draw any attention. That's what it looks like to you.
Okay.
Let's see. So you each have a set of stone carving tools in your hands. To sort of expound on that, you have a set of chisels and a mallet in your hands. And you have a tool belt now fastened around your back. Now, weirdly enough, you still have all your armor on and your other gear.
Oh, good.
And that goes for all of you. You're all carrying basically the same stone carving set, and you have your original gear.
Well, I never turned down a free set of artisan tools.
The other thing is Elvira. Um, Elvira notices that she had like a sack of coin and it's gone. That's the thing she notices is gone.
Have acquired num-nums.
The munchies. Except not those kind.
That's what snaps me out of my trance.
You yeah, Petal immediately notices that Guy is just loading things into the cart, and Elvira notices that she's missing her coin. Let's see. Gary notices.
Can I do something to like subtly get like either Gary or Petal's attention?
Yeah. Let's see. What kind of way are you thinking of doing that?
Okay, I'm thinking about like coming out of the trance, right, and then like realizing what's going on, and like hoping and communicating everyone to just like act calm for a second, so we can put our stuff in the cart and then wreak havoc. But obviously, they don't know all that.
Right.
And Gary's planning on acting like he's working anyway, because that was the original plan.
Okay.
In that case, then I guess never mind. I'll just do like a stealth to see if I can like make it to the cart.
Yeah, go ahead. Are you acting like you're still working, or are you acting as if you are, or are you doing something else?
So I'm trying to blend in until I can put my stuff down and draw my bow.
Okay, sounds good. So that's going to be an
My
easy,
sword, yeah.
pretty easy DC
My
since you're
sword,
going to be making it look like you're just doing what you otherwise would have done.
Never mind, Dan. Sorry, I didn't hear any of that. My bad.
Oh.
Zach trying to remind me that I've never played a caster before, so I don't need to pull anything. I do want to make it there in time to like put my stuff down real nice, like I'm supposed to, and then turn around and like, bah.
Okay. Why don't you? Let's see. Do you want to move your character to the spot you want to be in?
Hold on, okay, here we go.
You currently have a mallet and chisel
So
in hand.
I want to like what 5, 10, 15, 20 feet.
Okay. Right up to the side of the cart.
Yep, I'm gonna put everything down, like I'm putting rocks down, but I'm gonna put out all my gear stuff, like the mallet and stuff too.
Okay. Concurrently, at the same time as you doing this, there's a minor change in the attitude of the snakes around you, the smaller snakes. They all they start to, some of them begin to disperse a little bit. They move further away, and this is in accordance with a loud hissing sound you hear from, if the top of the map is north, it'd be northwest. You hear a hissing. Does anyone's... Hang on. I don't want to actually ask that. I want to check your sheets here. Oh, yes! Petal. You know what's actually being said because you speak Draconic. That's cool. I was really hoping somebody would speak Draconic. You hear, instead of just a loud hissing sound from the giant snake you now notice, you hear the words, "Begin your work once you have fed." And then he turns, the snake turns and begins slithering away slightly. And the other snakes withdraw to the outer ring. It takes a second. You don't know exactly what's going on. They depart for a little bit, leaving you just kind of wondering what's going on.
Okay. In that case, and the big snake is like moving away from us in a non-hostile manner.
Yeah, I don't have a good way to move it on the map. I'm going to delete it for now. And yeah, I'm gonna delete it for now.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of like whisper to get everybody's attention. The big one just told the little ones to go feed. But it doesn't look like they're gonna eat us. Let's give it a second and get out of here.
Should we get back to work? I say leaving.
No, we should not get back to work. So, because Petal and myself have no real idea where we actually are, Petal is going to assume that this location is the same location as like the quote-unquote carnival, and using that as a frame of reference, he's gonna like, I don't know, nature check to figure out like where the river is or something like that.
Okay, sounds good. Why don't you roll for
something after that's done?
Oh, I have a plus 4 to make it. Here, I'll figure out. Here, do you may help you figure out where the river is, Petal?
How about I help you?
Okay. So I get advantage then, right?
Yeah, roll one.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. 16.
You aren't exactly sure, but you notice that the sounds are kind of different from what they were when you were near the water. You don't hear moving water so much. Now, that wasn't very loud before because it was kind of slow-moving water. The other thing you notice is there's a different kind of tree where you're located. This is almost like a more of a... this is an area with shorter, younger trees. Let's put it that way.
Okay, so, hey, I don't think we're at the carnival.
Okay.
We still need to make a run for it, though.
Well, here's my question then. So far, despite being kidnapped, which, that happens, no one has tried to hurt us yet.
Mm-hmm.
There is a road here. What if we were to try to follow the road? I mean, because right now we don't know where we are. We have no clue where we are.
So, question, Dan.
Yeah.
Is there any chance that Gary might know where he is? Or ability to check where he is?
That's a good question. Let me think. I got your sheet here. Look at it for a second and decide. You think that you may potentially be near a place called Mbala. Mbala. On your map, you have it located. Let me pull up my map right now so I can.
Swear, if the snakes lost us that boat that I worked so hard on, I'm gonna turn the big one into a lot of different characters. Okay.
Mbala is you. So you believe that you have traveled a significant distance to your southwest from where you were before, because this looks a lot like the cleared out area that Mbala is built into. That's kind of a more open spot of Chult, where there's less tree cover, and not too far from the Aldani Basin, which is what your river would have run into. So it makes logical sense that you would have continued down the river, the Soshan Star, to the Aldani Basin, and then probably went up to Mbala. I know that's a lot of information. Oh, he's muted. Okay. Yes. So as you guys are sort of discussing a little bit, the snakes have departed further, You are visited by a group of 3 humanoids. They look really ragged, really ragged. It's kind of hard to see them because they are so covered in filth, and they walk up in sort of a way that seems. They seem like undead, but at the same time, you know they're not undead, or they'd be attacking us. And they're dragging some sacks. They walk up to you, and they drop the 3 sacks on the ground, and then they turn to walk away.
Wait, these are undead?
They look like undead, but they're not acting completely like undead. They're like... I guess I should say they're not acting like feral undead. Just to make that distinction real fast.
Like summoned undead or charmed undead. Can you charm undead? Pebble is not certain if you can charm undead.
Would Elvira know that? Hold on.
There's some pretty specific magic knowledge.
Yeah, I don't know that either.
A sorcerer, yeah. What check would that be?
That'd be
Arcana?
probably Arcana.
Let's see. No, only a 7.
You're not sure.
Yep.
Are you familiar with which ones these are?
Yes, you are actually. You recognize... Well, anyone who knows goblins, you're going to notice a goblin in there. Gary realizes that one of them is actually not humanoid as in like elven or human or goblin or orcish or anything like that. It's actually a beast. There's an ape amongst them, and then well, I guess you would all recognize the gnome of the group. It takes you a second to notice because they're just so covered in filth. They're just disgusting, and they have cloaks on, so that does sort of disguise them a little bit. The ape, what gave it away is it was walking on the 4 legs.
Yeah, that'll do it. Are they leaving too, or are they staying there?
They dropped 3 sacks, and then they started walking northwest along that path. So they're going.
Okay, cool.
I am definitely investigating said sacks.
I'm gonna watch Petal investigate said sack.
Okay. All right. No check necessary. They left them there for you to grab them. As you go to the first bag and you open it up, a bunch of small rodents start running out, and they just scatter everywhere. They disappear within seconds. The bag is now empty. You hear the joyous hiss off in the distance as a couple snakes grab them.
Nice. Friendly snakes. I am already convinced that these snakes mean us no harm. I'm going to empty the other... I'm assuming the other bags are full of mice, and I will go and check them and dump them out as well.
One of them, you open it up, and it's a bag full of cockroaches, and they scatter as well. Similar result, the snakes get them. And then the last bag is just a bunch of random insects and disgusting creepy crawlies. And these snakes, like, they are eating them quite happily. Let's say that, yeah, they kind of, some of them disperse in order to catch those insects. Yeah.
Well, I say we figure out where this road goes.
Okay. And you're referring to going northeast, correct?
Or
sorry, northwest. I meant northwest. Okay. As of now, Guy has not responded to anything you've done. He went back to he went over to a different corner and starts chipping at some stone.
I'm gonna try to like wake him up and kind of like, all right, man, I love carnivals too, but we gotta go, and like tap him on the like kind of like lightly slap him in the face,
Okay.
like kind of like that. Hey, like let's tap his cheeks back and forth, like, hey, wake up, man.
Let's do. What? I don't know what check. Can you just roll a d20?
Absolutely can. A 2.
He doesn't respond at all. He just keeps chipping away. He's kind of mumbling a little something. Gotta get home. A little bit under his breath. Difficult to tell what he really said. Something about home. Yeah.
I'm going to pull out a short sword and attempt to do 1 point of damage worth of damage. Just lightly injure him in the hopes that shakes him from the. I'm familiar with illusion spells, and I know that generally speaking, if you get hurt, that kind of dispels things.
Right.
Or at least that's what Petal thinks is going to happen.
Right. No check necessary. You just take your sword and kind of like, and his let's say his bicep a little bit, and you just kind of do a little nick, like just a little bit, and all of a sudden he drops his tools and he stumbles back a second, and he looks at you with wide eyes.
Hey man, I'm sure you were having a good time, but we got to go.
And I heard Dodja try to say something there. Could you repeat it?
Oh, I said a lot of something, and apparently.
So we're dealing with that problem again, huh? Oh dear.
You have Skype, don't you, Zach?
I do have Skype. I'm more than happy to switch to Skype.
I think we totally could if you want to. We just have to pause the game. I want to see if you can respond first, though. You're coming all domo arigato, Mr. Roboto on us.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Domo.
I bet you he's typing. Probably. That's what he was doing last week. Alright, well, while he figures out his... Oh, yeah, he did send something. Oh, yeah, he's saying yes. I'm guessing that is to trying Skype. So let's, did you guys see I sent you a link to my user on Skype?
Ooh, how'd you send that to us?
I put it in the group chat. Now I'll send it again, so it's fresh.
Oh, I see it.
Put it down at the bottom for Dodjo's ease of use. That's my Skype. And my recording.